What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of this Minecraft Let's Play. And today in this episode, the first thing I want to do is get to work on our zombie farm. I was caving and I found a zombie spawner down somewhere just below this area. And today I want to make a farm so I can get a good, reliable source of XP. So I'm cooking up some smooth stone here because that is probably the main block I'll be using to build the room and like the spawner, and I want to keep everything in theme with the village that I'm going to be building above ground, so it kind of all matches together. But down here is the room that I'm going to be building in. This is where the AFK room is going to be, and also like the killing room. And then if we come this way, the spawner's down here. So I did a lot of digging to make space and just prepare for kind of like putting in the walls and all the details and designs, and I have a really cool design that I want to build, so I'm excited. So the first thing I want to do in this mob spawner is just get the walls laid down. So I'm going to start putting down smooth sandstone pretty much on all these walls, and then in the corner here I'm going to put, it's going to be chiseled sandstone, not chiseled, it's going to be cut sandstone, and it has like a really cool kind of like brick effect or brick texture, and it's gonna look really good, at least in this resource pack. That's what it looks like. I'm not sure if it's different in vanilla. Okay, so I've done some work. As you can see, filled these walls in with sandstone, and then I brought it all the way down to the spawner. So this will be the spawning room, and I'm going to do like the regular collection system where there'll be water source blocks on this side, and then all of the zombies will get pushed this way down into here, and then they'll get pushed into the center and then this way, and then I'm going to bring them up to a water elevator, and then I'm going to drop them down back into the kill room where we will grind them out and get all the XP. So that's what I have so far. So the next thing I want to work on is finally get this floor replaced. So what I thought would be really cool is if I have some sort of transparent floor for the spawner, so I can kind of like see the zombies spawn underneath. So what I was thinking is, with this resource pack, all of, like the glass textures are pretty medieval, and I didn't really like that, except for the black stained glass, which was like a lot more modern and sleek, and it also looks really cool. It kind of darkens up the room below, and it gives it like an ominous feel. So that's what I was thinking here. Okay, so now that we got the floor installed, it's time to work on the roof. And I have a really cool roof design that I've thought of, and I'm going to use this temporarily, but I'm going to be using slabs for this design, and it's going to be really cool. So there's going to be like, since there's 4 different pillars, I'm going to kind of make an X shape in the roof with slabs, and they're all going to come together in the middle, and it's going to be really dope and symmetrical. So I'm back, and I completed the roof, but I also did a lot more stuff. I did the storage, I did finish the chamber where they fall down, I even set up a little enchanting area right here, and I completed pretty much everything. I even did some redstone with some hopper minecarts, and so I'll show you all about that. But first, I want to finish this room off by putting down my enchanting table here. So now I finally have a spot for it. It was taking up way too much space on the little island we were living on. So boom, just like that, it's finished. So let me give you a little tour here. Here's our storage system, which is automatic. So there's a hopper minecart that goes under here, and it collects all the items, and it puts it in these chests. And this is by far probably like the most technical redstone I've ever done, which is kind of embarrassing because it's not that technical, but me trying to do that on camera would have not have ended well, and it wouldn't really make sense me trying to explain it. But there's a hopper minecart, and it collects all the items under this half slab, comes up here, and then gets dropped off from this hopper into this chest, which then splits off into the 2 sections of chests. So there's a set of double chests right here and a set of double chests right there. So this was like pretty difficult for me, even though it's like extremely simple. So the items come into here. Then I also have an on-off switch right here, which just sends a pulse to the rail right here which tells it to go. So if I click it, it'll start going. Then it'll come back. Let me get out of the way. Uh-oh. So this is pretty much it. Yeah, it's pretty simple, but let me run back. So this lever right here powers that rail. So if I flick it off, it stops. And so if I show you, if I put some items in there, it should bring it to here, up there, and it should put them in these chests. And it's a very slow process, so I guess that's the only thing that sucks about this, is it takes forever for it to unload. And then I have the water elevator here. Simple design, lets you go straight up very quickly. And then I also have a drop system right here. So it's really nice to get up and down really quickly. So I took down all the torches, and this is what it looks like. Looks pretty cool. I like the lighting in this room, looks really nice. And I hope all these guys are one-hit kills, and they should be. Pretty close. You get all the XP from it. So yeah, I guess it works good. I noticed that they're getting a little bit stuck down there, so that could be a bad thing, but so far I think it's working pretty well, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now that this is finished, we can finally move on to the second project of this episode. So as I said earlier, I really need to build a base or a house, or just somewhere where I could put my stuff and not have to deal with it. So I moved everything over from that island. I was just so tired of it, and just bring everything closer to this build so that it's a lot easier to grab resources and build up this little base house main town building. So I did a little bit of laying out here just so that I don't get confused when I start to build, so I know all the dimensions and I make sure that I don't mess everything up. One thing I also want to say is that I originally had like a tower kind of design here, and that's what I was preparing for. That's what I was expecting to do, but I was testing it in a creative world, and it just seemed pretty much impossible to do. It seemed so hard to like figure out a design that worked. So I'm just scrapping that idea, and I'm gonna just kind of create like a more traditional style of building over on this side. And then right here will be the archway that I was talking about. So yeah, I'm really excited. So the first thing I need to do is I need to build up the walls. So I'm gonna do that. And it's pretty boring, so I'm just gonna do that off camera, and then I'll be back once we kind of have some structure to this build and once it starts to take form. And just like that, the main frame of this building is finished. I put in all the walls and all the pillars. Haven't put any detail in or any roofs, but that'll come later. So yeah, I think it looks good. I think it fits the island really well. It's not too big, it's not too small, and it's gonna look grand. Like, it's definitely gonna be the main building of this town slash city, but at the same time, you know, it's not like a castle, because there's not really that much space for like a large city with a large castle. So I think it's gonna fit kind of like the main, I don't know, it's gonna fit the city really well. And so yeah, so next thing I have to do is the roofs. So there's gonna be a roof right there, and also right there, and I'll also probably put in the flooring and start to work on that, and then from there we can start to work on the detail. I am back, and I've done a lot of work. As you can see, I did the roofs, all three of them, and then I also did this little flat roof right here, this the roof for the pathway, and then also the roof back there. You can't really see it, but it's behind this house right here. And so now the only thing I really have left to do would be, first of all, I want to differentiate like the palette a little bit, because right now, as you can see, the walls are just all smooth stone, and I really want to add just some regular sandstone to give it a bit more texture and detail. I think that would look really good. And then finally, we could start working on the detail. And so when I'll see you next, it'll probably be done or pretty close to done. So yeah, I'll see you then. So it's been some time since I last recorded, and that's because I pretty much finished up the building. So behind me, I'd say it's 90% done. There's still a little bit of work I have to do here and there, but the majority of it is completed. So, boom. I think it turned out okay. There's some angles that I'm like, I don't really know, especially from over here looking at this wall. and there's like a few walls in the back, but it doesn't really matter. I think the majority of it like looks pretty cool, and I like the depth and the detail, and I like the contrast between the spruce and the sandstone. I think that looks the best. But let me give you a little bit of a tour through here. So here's the overarching pathway that I was talking about, and then I have like 3 main buildings here. So let me head into this first building. So I moved everything over from the little island that we were living on over there, over to there, and I moved it in here. So now I have like a permanent spot to put our stuff. So here's one section of the storage unit, and then another section. So this is like the main hall room. Don't really know what to call it. And then up here is like another level. So here's where I'm keeping my bed for now. And then if you go through this door, here's like a little balcony area on top of the roof. And all of this is made out of trapdoors. The amount of spruce I had to use for this building is insane. I use so much spruce. So you go up here, and over here, and all of this is also trapdoors, so get an idea of how much I used. Over here in this little area / room is my bedroom I'm gonna make, so this will be like the master bedroom for me. Over here is kind of like the other little area, the other little house, and right here is where I'm keeping my horses for now. So I collected some horses. I felt like every Minecrafter at one point in their survival world needs to collect some horses and have some pet horses, even though they won't be that useful soon once they get in Elytra. And then I also just moved the nether portal over here, so now it has a final spot and it's not taking up a bunch of room and making a bunch of noise. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Another thing that I added was, if you go down here, this is like a little basement room. So I'm gonna put down here like pretty much everything that's super ugly and is really hard to make look good. So I was thinking a super smelter would look cool. I'm probably going to move my AFK fish farm that we built in the first episode down here before it gets nerfed in 1.16. And then I'm also going to, I might have like some villagers down here. Maybe bring some villagers to this island, this desert island, and then get like a little bit of trading going on just to get started. But yeah, so that will be it for today. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. We got a lot of work done. I think it looks really cool, this building. And then we also finished the mob spawner down there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything went. And I hope you guys have a good day. And bye-bye.